Get the bug, along with my good friend Dave Medeiros and his journalism class, we formed Instant Replay. And that show lasted about a year and a half, got a lot of good ink from local papers, a lot of good memories, memories.
Marc, what perhaps was your most favorite show that you'll never forget?
That's kind of hard to say, because every show is special with the kids. The basketball games, the first football game we did up at Bishop Feen with Dave Medeiros. But probably my all-time favorite was the old Tech Tourney team. George Graves, Vern Gomes, and Senator McLean. I think something that people don't realize about Senator McLean is that he was our last five-letter athlete out of this area, and he did that on the bet. The last five-letter athlete was Mel Enton. And if you see the following tape, I think you're going to see a lot of interesting insights as Senator McLean talks about his youth.
Well, as I look at the pad here, Marc, let's go back to the first edition of Instant Replay that went on the air November 18th, 1983.
Ready? Volume cheer! We are behaving high, and no one could be prouder. If you can't hear us now, then we'll yell it all the louder. We are
This is Instant Replay, Cable 2 sports information program. We hope to bring you a look at the multifaceted world of sports in the greater Fairhaven area.
We're here at the Hastings Junior High School gym with volleyball coach Mike Childs and his volleyball players, and we thought we'd ask Mike a few questions about volleyball. First question I'd like to know, Mike, I'm sure people out there would, is how did you get involved here in Fairhaven in volleyball?
Well, before I answer that, I want to thank you for having this opportunity to address your audience, and that not many people know that much about our volleyball team. We haven't had all that much response from the community coming to our games during the
1964, Dartmouth 56, Fairhaven 0. In perhaps the most lopsided high school game played on Thanksgiving, Dartmouth played picture-perfect football. Quarterback Marc put on an aerial show, throwing for 6 touchdowns. Billy Morgan, Claude Sneesick, and Randy Libsey gathered several first downs but could not sustain a scoring drive. Fairhaven also pulled a pretty fake punt with Randy Libsey hitting the holder, Tom Johnson, with a first down pass.
1965, Fairhaven 12, Dartmouth 7. First-year coach Sal Lombardo put Fairhaven back on the winning track. Billy Morgan opened scoring with a 36-yard run and a pitch out from quarterback Tom Johnson. Dartmouth took the lead before the half on a pass from quarterback Bobby Santos to Dartmouth's captain Paul. And tonight we have a rather special treat for you viewers. We're going to have a look back to the football players from the 50s and 60s. And with us tonight is former Fairhaven quarterback Bill Perry, former center Bill Holt, former fullback Robin Holmes, and another fullback Henry Knutson. And I think the best way to start off the evening is to let everybody know what the people are doing if they're still in the area, and maybe go into a little bit what your most memorable moment at the high school was. There are our old cohorts from the basketball season, Vern Gomes and Don Bernard, who are also members of the varsity club. And I guess, first of all, Vern, we should just get right into it and find out what exactly the Fairhaven Varsity Club is.
Well, I think at the present time, I think we're more involved with youth than, say, with the adult. And, you know, we're sponsoring 2 football teams, a softball team, basketball, and whatnot. And I think that's our biggest thing now is the kids in town.
And tonight, we're going to have a reunion of sorts of some of the players who participated in the 1949 to 1951 Tech Tourney teams. And let's meet them right now. Over here we have Mr. Vern Gomes, Mr. Mel Enton, Mr. William McLean, Mr. George Graves, and Mr. Norris Drew. And I'd like to thank you guys for taking time out to come over here and talking with us. I guess we'll start off with Mr. Gomes over here, my old color man. Since you saw the game last night, Vern, and you had some really good points to talk about the team, if you had some advice to give to Coach Southworth, what kind of advice would you give him?
Well, I think I would try to get that ball out to the outside man and try to get a few of those shots at the beginning of the game to open it up to make it easier for the man underneath.
Your words were not true, were they? And it wasn't true. You had to be an awfully good team. You had to keep moving. And, of course, you had to be a little smart, too. And you had to be good foul shooters.
I've been reading that you were the last 5-letter athlete out of this area. Can you tell us what sports they were, and can you also tell us why you doubt you ever see a multi-lettered athlete again in this area?
Well, I guess to start off with, I think I did in the junior year, and it was more or less over Coach Enton. He challenged me because he was the last one prior to that. So he was kidding me into doing it, so we ended up playing football, basketball, baseball, track, and tennis. And I couldn't do any of them today. Of course, the size of me. The difference is it was a lot of fun.
And we'll be right back, Mark, with some more interesting segments here in our look back at Faven Kushtet magazine.
You are tuned to Cable 2 Community Television for Fairhaven and Acushnet.
We helped form the first edition of the video version of the Fairhaven High School newspaper, The Spray. And that went on the air, Mark, on November 28th of 1983. A very interesting show. They put a lot of work into it, and there's been a lot of sprays since then. But let's go back and see what the first edition was like.
Spray was adopted as the title of the school newspaper in 1963 under the guidance of Mrs. Mabel Hoyle Knight. And now, in 1983, after 21 years of print editions, The Spray has added yet another chapter to its story, with the first edition of The Spray on Cable 2. This program has been scripted, produced, and directed entirely by the journalism class of Fairhaven High School. Thank you for watching.
And to end off our show, on the electric piano is Kenny Montigny, on guitar is Chris Gonzalez, and on the drums is Rob Leonardo.
I just don't get into a car with someone who's drunk. Mm-hmm. And if I do, if I ever get in a car with someone who's drunk, it's probably because I'm very, very drunk myself.
Upon entering Fairhaven, Massachusetts, a very beautiful high school is noticed by every visitor. This school is a structure of architectural significance. It was built in Elizabethan style and is located on the northeast corner of Huddleston Avenue and Main Street. This boldly designed edifice, 200 feet in length by 100 feet in depth, with a wing and a gymnasium on the north, and an addition to the south, was the gift of Henry Huddleston Rogers to his beloved town, Fairhaven, Massachusetts.
Hello and welcome to another edition of Rocha on Wrestling. Well, on November 24th, 1984, pro wrestling invaded the Providence Civic Center. There was 8 spectacular matches, and the first match featured Sal Bellomo against Moondog Spot.
I'd like to give you a kiss, but would you turn and walk away? Would I hit or miss? Just think what they would say. I'd like to
Wasn't that paper a lot of fun, the spray, the video version?
Well, being a former sports editor, the paper spray, I can look back at that and see a lot of fond memories myself.
Well, it's something that the energy that the students of the journalism class have, and I'm looking forward to the journalism class we have this year, which is larger than ever. And I'm sure there's going to be as much creativity, if not more, under the guidance of Dave Medeiros, who's doing a heck of a job. And right now, we're going to look back at our second Christmas show, the Christmas of 1983.
We're missing somebody tonight. Where are the reindeer? Well, that's why we had to come on the fire engine, because there's no snow, and they're back up at the North Pole. It's a little hard on their hoofs on the blacktop.
Okay, thanks a lot, Sadler.
You're welcome.
We do that before our meals every day. Wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
I'd like to wish all you people out there a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year from all of us at Food Town, and God bless.
I'd like to wish the citizens of the town of Fairhaven the merriest Christmas we've ever had, peaceful Christmas, and a happy, prosperity, and healthy New Year to come. Thank you.
Same here.
From all of us at Cablevision, we'd like to wish you
Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Ho, ho, ho.
Right now, they're afraid.
Marc Scanlon went with cameraman M.L. Barron to the Quarters for Christmas auction on December 11th. Cable 2 was pleased to show our viewers some of the many fine items which they could bid for. All proceeds went to the St. Mary's Home, Swartz Rehabilitation Center, the Kennedy Donovan Center, and senior citizens of the greater New Bedford area. As usual, the auction was a smashing success. Here's Marc Scanlon.
And for you people who want to go about town, the skipper, etc., no, ML did not run over this, but this is a fur neck piece of some sort. I don't know if this is fox or mink or what it is. I hope it is not alive, but these are some of the items that you can get here at the auction at Southeastern Massachusetts Truckers Aid headquarters. Right, ML? Right.
Well, Mark, as I look back at that, I wonder whatever became of those little minks on that big stole there.
Probably down at Salvation Army right now, Mark, but